Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here with another Diablo 3 build guide. Today we're going to be going over the Immortal King's Furious Charge build. Jumping right into the action here. The key to this build, excuse me, is using getting the 6-piece bonus for the Immortal King set and the 4-piece bonus for the Ray Core set. The Immortal King set, Call the Ancients last until they die, reduce the cooldown of Wrath of the Berserker, and Call of the Ancients by 3 seconds for every 10 Fury spent with an attack. And while both Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients is active, you gain 15... I'm sorry, I don't know where I was going with 15. You gain 400% increased damage. The Ray Core set, on the other hand, the 2-piece, when Furious Charge only hits one enemy, it refunds a charge, and you gain the effect of all 5 runes, and 300% increased damage with Furious Charge. So, for this, to get the 4-piece Ray Core, of course we are also using Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube to reduce the number of set items needed for the bonus by 1. So we're going to be using 4 pieces of the Ray Core set. In this case, we are using the Ray Core's Striders, Breaches, and the Ray Core's Burden, which is the shoulder piece. As for the Immortal King set, we're going to be wearing the Immortal King's Triumph, the helmet, Eternal Reign, which is the chest piece, Tribal Binding, which is the Mighty Belt, and of course the Immortal King's Boulder Breaker, which is the 2-handed weapon, and the Immortal King Irons for the gloves. In addition to that, we're going to be using a Unity, along with a Unity on our follower. Our follower also has a I'm sorry, what's it called? Oculus Ring. Oculus Ring equipped. And of course the thing that makes your follower not be able to die. We're also going to be using a Band of Might. After casting Furious Charge, Ground, Stomp, or Leap, you take 58% reduced damage. That can be a max of 60%. We're also using Nemesis Bracers, and a Hellfire Amulet with the Nerves of Steel passive. Ideally, my legendary gems would be a little higher ranked. I've got a rank 66 Bane of the Stricken, a 37 Bane of the Trapped, and a 29 Bane of the Powerful. So we're just going for straight damage here. I've also got strength gems in my chest piece and leg piece, just so that I get more strength. As you can see, I'm just under 10,000 strength, a reduced cooldown gem in the helm, and a increased damage against elites gem in my weapon. This build does not have any room for a furnace, otherwise we would be running it. But I figure a increased damage against elites is the next best thing. In the cube, we've got the Standoff, which increases the damage for Furious Charge, equal to 250% of your bonus movement speed. Leoric's Crown is actually not the ideal armor piece to have. Ideally, you would have... where is it? Bear with me here. Ideally, you would have Vile Ward, which Furious Charge deals 33% increased damage for every enemy hit while charging. I think that's a max of 40, but I'm not positive on that. Ideally, you would have a Vile Ward in the cube, but I'm out of bounty materials, and I don't care enough to farm for more bounty materials with 4 days left in the season. So we are just using Leoric's Crown for the reduced cooldown, and then, like I said earlier, a Ring of Royal Grandeur. For skills, Using Battle Rage and Ferocity, Ancient Spear Boulder Toss, which is going to drain all of our Fury when we cast it. It throws a giant boulder and deals a little bit of extra damage. The damage on Boulder Toss is next to nothing in this build. We don't really care about the damage of Boulder Toss. We care about the Fury cost because that replenishes our cooldown on Wrath of the Berserker. Using Sprint Marathon for additional movement speed. Furious Charge. I'm using Battering Ram specifically because on my Nemesis Bracers I have plus 20% fire damage. I don't know that it matters. Wrath of Berserker Insanity. And Call of the Ancients together as one. I use together as one because it splits up the damage. 50% of all damage dealt to me is instead reflected to the Ancients. So that means that 50% of my damage is directed to the Ancients and 50% is directed to my Enchantress. I know that that's not actually how it works. I assume that it's actually something like maybe 75% of the damage I take is actually going to be redirected. But any way you look at it, that's going to be a whole crapload of damage that I am not taking. I'm using the Rampage, Berserker Rage, Ruthless, and Brawler passives. And like I said, I also have the not Inspiring Presence, Nerves of Steel passive on my Hellfire Amulet. And for Paragons, I just get up to the 25% additional movement speed, dump everything else into Strength. For this build, actually I'm going to reset it because cooldown is most important, then crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and attack speed in that order. Resist all, life, armor, then life regen. I would say area damage, life per hit, resource cost reduction, and gold find. Now let's hop into a little lower rift. Like I said, this build should be able to clear much higher than this. I think the highest that I've cleared with this build is a 62, 63, something like that. But it would be able to clear much higher than that if my gems go better. So the gameplay here is just bump into everything as fast as you can, because that's going to do the most damage. As you can see, every little bit I dump my Fury, Boulder Toss, and that knocks down the cooldown for Wrath of the Berserker. As you can see here, we basically take no damage. We're taking a little bit here, but this isn't a champion attack, whatever they're called. It's very important to not let Wrath of the Berserker fall off, because when it falls off, that's 400 damage you're not getting. I would say I have definitely not mastered this build yet, but hopefully this will briefly show you what this build can do. When I play it, I am kind of farming for elites, kind of just running towards elites as fast as I can, because that's how I do this build. If I had the Vile Ward, it would probably all work better. Yeah, see right there, I screwed up. I let my Wrath of Berserker fall off, and it ended up costing me quite a bit of damage. So that just shows you Hopefully we can find enough density in the script to not have to hit that power pylon until right before the Guardian spawns. You know, as I say that, I remember I'm only doing a 55. And did that 55 I would say I'm not in any danger for not clearing this rift, so... And there you go. That is how the build works.
My name is Ash. When the if you have a, I am skilled at clarifying gems.
So I got that done without dying. Really, without even coming close to dying. I think I might have got to half health once. But as you could see, that was not really that difficult for this build. I probably could have gone higher than that, like I said, but... Actually, not probably, I could have. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Got my little furnace transmog on my weapon. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time... Oh, before I forget, make sure to stay tuned for more Diablo 3 content. With the end of Season 9 coming up, I'm going to be the day that the season ends, I'm going to post, or I'm going to run a few rifts, see if I can finish a GR70. That's been my goal for the season. I have not been able to even come close yet. I've not even cleared a 68 yet. But we will see what happens. I will be posting my final attempts and kind of a end of season wrap up video here on, I believe, Saturday. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this Primetime CP23, and I'm out.